Yeah, not correct,
Huh?
Yeah, 9%.
We haven't searched anyone for you.
Well, no, you're being searched. You're going to be searched. You were digging. It's common for drug dealers
on your lap, like I asked you.
Conceal their narcotics. What are you guys doing over here?
I just came to see him.
This is my brother.
Who's your brother?
They're both my brothers.
You crazy? Something like that. Something like that. Keep your hands on your lap.
He doesn't even dig and put him in the phone.
Step out. Right there. Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Mama, you can stay here and watch until they leave, please. Thank you. Thank you. Mama, you heard what I said.
You got anything on you, man?
You don't have no reason to search.
Do you have anything on you? Don't reach.
What are you talking about?
Go away! Go away! Or I'll lock you up for hindering.
I don't give a damn. That's my plan.
I don't give a fuck who it is.
Can you tell me what I did wrong?
Okay. Shut your car off.
What I do wrong?
Shut your car off.
Come on, shoot me.
Shut your car off.
You gonna shoot me?
Got a gun. Got a gun.
Where?
Gun.
Where?
Shut the car
Where?
off.
Where? My hand in the air.
Shut the car off. Shut
No, hey, come shut the car off. I ain't moving my hand. He trying to shoot me. He trying to shoot me.
Shut the car off.
I ain't moving. No.
In the Del Paso Heights. Nephew, just listen. I want to move. No, you got to stay right here. You can't. Hey, why you doing him like that? Wait, Alexis. Hey, Alexis, why? I'm going right here, Naomi. Get out. Oh my God. You can't be beating him like that. Hey, why you beating him like that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He beating him like that. Oh Jesus. I've seen this, Lord. Oh, yeah, he's breaking his arm. Oh my God, why'd you take him?
Well, I appreciate you, I support you, and I hope that you get the restitution that you deserve. When I saw the video, I said nobody deserves that to happen in their home. The first thing I thought was, what if a child had been standing behind that door?
That your conversations are not appropriate.
Okay.
The tape was edited. We don't have the unedited tape yet. And I think there's a lot of factors here that need to be looked at. The most important factor is that these searches he's complaining about were with warrants issued by a judge.
I'm a father, and many of these victims were fathers also. So I asked this board, if you can't have sympathy for me, have sympathy for the children that have been affected by this, that are continuing to be affected by this. I'm a grown man, and I'm scared to death of the police. So imagine it happening in some of these victims, 14-year-old children being at home, 12-year-old children being at home, and 5-month-old children being at home. And I'm asking this city board to at least ask your city manager to ask the acting assistant chiefs to do something about these officers, if at least put them on suspension until this investigation is over with.
How you doing, man?
You got your license, registration, insurance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any weapons in the car?
Nope.
Okay.
Can I get it from my glove box?
Yeah, please.
Can I ask you why you stopped me?
So you can't have anything hanging from your rearview mirror, okay?
Really?
Yeah, it obstructs the driver's view. Basically, it changes your perception and it can cause an accident. So they don't want anybody having anything hanging from there. So if you have like a GPS or something, it actually needs to be in the lower 5 inches, either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the windshield.
So you stopped me for my car air freshener?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I actually sell cars for a living, and I've been here for 8 months. I work with cops. I work with everybody.
Do you sell cars with window tint?
Nah, I sell cars with everything. I sell cars at Unjust and Chrysler, so window tint.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you sell cars that have window tint?
Yes.
Okay, so window tint on the driver window and the passenger window. And I don't think I've ever seen you guys sell it on the windshield.
Yeah.
But I've seen you guys sell.
Yeah, we get.
Get your license, registration, insurance, please.
Yes, sir. My license is behind my phone.
Anything you know about my car, man?
No. I'm legit, man. That's why I'm like, I never get stopped. I got my cards in there.
Okay. Any marijuana in the car?
Nope.
Okay. You smoke marijuana?
No. Is there a reason for all these questions?
So you asked me about my laws, and while I'm standing here and you're doing all this, I ask my normal questions. Okay?
I've never got asked questions about this because of a tree stop.
I ask everybody. Okay. Mr. Cobra, when's the last time you did smoke marijuana?
I never smoked.
Never?
I just said that.
Okay. All right. Hang out here for a sec, okay? Mr. Cobra, you said there's no weapons in the car?
Nope.
Okay, do me a favor. Relax, man. You're still 10 and 2.
Well, because this is what we learn from where I'm from. This is what we do.
This is what you learned from who? I'm sorry.
Where I'm from.
Okay. May I ask where you're from?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
So this is what we do. So if you don't mind, this is where I'm relaxed at.
Okay. Can I have you hop out? I just have a couple more questions for you, and I want to speak to you man, so that way you're not doing this and I'm leaned over.
Okay.
It is being recorded as well.
Cool, man. This is crazy.
The reason I want to put you through sobriety tests is your eyes kind of look a little bit glossy.
Really?
And some people just have that glossiness. Okay? That's why we do these tests to
What's your name, man?
That's all right, Emax. It's just where I put my hand. So I'm recording, man. I'm trying to be cool with you, but
cool.
I don't think you're being completely honest with me.
Okay. So when this all goes through and you see I'm good and you see that I don't got nothing and you see that I'm legit, what happens? I just go about my day. You just wasted 30 minutes of my time and you just. So I'm a definitely. Who's the sheriff? Who's on top of you? So I can write this down.
You can request it through my agency, but it's going to be Sheriff Reisen's the sheriff.
Cool, man.
So do you mind doing some field sobriety test, man? Make sure you're okay to drive real quick. Honestly, you say 30 minutes. It'll take me 5.
Man, I don't see what's the point.
Because I don't think you're being completely honest with me.
Okay.
Whether you smoked a few days ago.
I didn't smoke. I don't smoke.
Nothing at all. Marijuana card?
No. Okay. I don't need it because I don't smoke.
Okay.
Especially in a place where I don't got no connection. Man, I don't honestly see the point. Because I got my business cards. You can call my boss. You can legit call my dad. Like, this is one. If you honestly really want to do that, like, I feel like this is against my rights. Honestly. Because
So
this is
it's
crazy.
your right to refuse.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Cobra, I'm trying to be upfront with you. Okay. I don't care about your race, your gender, your anything.
You don't care about my.
I'm here enforcing laws.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, when you're handing me your documents, what I saw was nervousness. Okay. Like I said, is that from Philadelphia, just kind of where you were raised, and maybe you're just you just don't like cops to begin with, or is it deceptive? So, dude, I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to talk to you in a man-to-man aspect, and I'm not trying to treat you any differently than anybody else I've ever.
Anytime I make contact with somebody or see somebody hanging out in the car, they just want me to approach and make sure they have business to be here. So nothing big, right? You said you do live on the property?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. Which unit do you live in, bud?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does absolutely
Can you
matter.
please step back, though?
Why would I step back? I'm asking you a question.
In my space. Like, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, if you want to do this the hard way, but I'm just asking.
What do you mean the hard way?
I'm just trying to ask you non-invasive questions.
It is. I don't know who you are.
Does it say police right there? Do you see a badge?
That could be fake. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do it the easy way then. All right. Hang tight for me right here. I'll just go ahead and get some assistance over here. We'll go ahead and do it the hard way. Hey, just west of the leasing office. You can come over here, you and Bob. I got a guy that wants to be difficult.
No. What do you mean?
If you and Bob can head this way, I got a guy that wants to be difficult, so he wants to do things the hard way. So he wants to be difficult. Just west of the leasing office.
All right.
Yep.
What's your badge
All right.
number, bro?
All right, bye.
What's your badge number?
What's that?
What's your badge number?
My badge number. Why you need my badge number?
Cause I need you
na-
to identify yourself.
Hey,
I don't know who
my badge
you
number
are.
6411, bro.
Can I see it?
This is what I'm asking you.
No,
Look,
can I see your badge number first? Can I see your badge?
My badge is right here on my chest.
What's your number again?
What's your name, sir?
What is your name?
What's your name, sir?
Can you identify yourself?
Okay, you don't want to identify, right?
Can you identify yourself?
You don't want to identify who you are.
Can you identify yourself? I don't know who you are.
Sir, look, listen to me. Okay, do you want to understand the words that's coming out of my mouth?
Can you identify yourself?
Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Police officer, all right?
No, it don't work like that.
Officer,
You a
it does
public
work like
servant.
that. It does work like that.
I
My name
need
is
you to
Officer Reynolds, all
Okay.
right? Freaking, I'm a courtesy officer for the complex, right? Contracted to do a job, okay? Contracted to do a job on this property right now. What I made contact for you is you're in violation of the apartment complex
And
property.
what is that?
You're loitering on the property.
I'm loitering on the property.
Right.
But I live here though.
You don't live in this parking lot, sir.
How am I loitering?
Because
if I live on this property, bro.
Listen to me. I explained.
You don't know if I'm fixing my car,
Right,
if I'm
and that's
waiting
why-
to leave
okay.
or not. So why is you walking up saying I'm loitering?
Because do you know the definition of loitering? Get on Google right now. Look up the definition.
I don't need to. You probably want me to stop recording so you can.
No, you
fuck
can keep
with me.
recording. I would encourage you to keep recording.
And now you done called your what? Security? Your fake backup?
There ain't no security here. Everybody's police officers, as you're
Bro,
about to find out.
It don't matter. So as you're about to find out, you don't have no reason to come over here to stop
I do,
me.
because you're loitering on the property, sir, and I just asked you for identification, and because I don't know you, when I asked you where you live at, you can't give me an address where you
I'm
live.
not about to tell you where I live. I don't know who you are. You could be a fake police officer.
There ain't no...
So why would I tell you where I
Is anybody here a
live?
fake police officer?
Nope, not that I know of.
Bro, can I get
There's
some?
my badge. You want my ID?
Yeah, I want everything from everybody. Yeah.
Where do I need your ID, sir?
You can film me all you want. I really don't give a shit.
Man, that's not the point.
There it is, Sergeant Robert Patterson, Southport Police Department.
Him too. Why is you
have
looking
ID
at my
on you?
car?
Do you have ID on you?
Can I get his badge number?
Do you have ID on you?
Can I get
You
his
can go to
badge
jail
number?
for not IDing yourself.
No, I cannot.
Yes, you can.
For what? What am I doing?
Because you have to identify yourself to a law enforcement officer. That's the law. Okay? If you
What
don't
is the
have-
crime though?
Okay, step on out.
No,
We'll
well,
do this the hard way then. Step on out.
what is the crime?
Step on out.
What is the crime?
Sir, either you're going to step out or we're going to bring you out.
What is the crime, bro?
I just told you what it was.
What is the crime? Is what I'm saying.
I just told you what it was.
What is that?
You're not IDing yourself.
That's a crime. A
Yes,
crime
it is.
involves an
Yes, it
injured
is.
party. Come on, don't play with me.
Okay.
So y'all really about to fuck with me?
Step on out. Step on out.
Why are you touching me, bro?
Step on out.
Dude, step out of the car. Don't make
I suggest you,
bro.
don't make it worse.
Bro, why are you touching me, bro? What the fuck is y'all doing, bro?
Stop tensing up.
What the fuck is you
Stop tensing up.
doing? Bro,
You got a cup?
bro, back up, bro. Hey, bro. Man, back the fuck. Get off me, bro.
Stop tensing up.
Get off me, bro.
Hello, everybody. I want to start by addressing something you said when you came right back in. You said if we acted in the fashion we did again, this meeting could not go on. Yet multiple people have been killed by these motherfuckers and Stefan. It has, no, shut up. It has continued to go on. So you care more about decorum in here than you do people who are alive. Because you shut down meetings over decorum. Stop looking at me like that. You're so immature. But you haven't shut them down over killing people. My journey with Sacramento killing black people began with Joseph Mann, a human being in need of emergency medical attention. He was instead met with the care of Sac PD in the form of "fuck this guy, I'm gonna hit him," Officer Tennis. Last year, Stephon Clark, a human being regardless of accused activities, toxicology reports, or relationship status, was a human being with a Fourth Amendment right, who instead was criminalized due to his race and murdered in a state-sanctioned execution. You can't even look at me, I'm so right. Last evening, I watched an overfunded and hyper-militarized force, not police, occupational force, agitate protesters, instill fear and panic, and then kettle them in a classic kettle and corral tactic, which, by the way, was started in the open-air prison known as Palestine by Israeli police and taught to our police all over this country. How much we pay to learn that? The underlying factor of all these cases is SAC law enforcement dehumanizes people on our dollars and with your agreement. When was the last time you were dehumanized? Because I think it's about time. You have shown zero ability to empathize with us. You have shown less ability to care. You are all terrible officials, in my opinion, worse people. To quote Dr. King, a riot is the language of the unheard, and you ain't fucking listening. The last person who spoke before the singer said Anne-Marie Schubert has no soul. To quote Stokely Carmichael, in order for peaceful protest to work, your overseer has to have a conscience. You don't have one. You radicalized 84 people on a bridge last night for no reason. They showed up peacefully and were still arrested. Someone up here with all your education explain to me why they should be peaceful next time. What is the onus? What is the impetus? You fucked them up when they were peaceful. You don't get it. You don't listen. You think it's gonna stay like this. And I'm gonna start right here saying I don't speak for anyone else or any group out here. This city's gonna burn in the next 30 to 60 days if you don't shut up and listen. Shut it down!
I want to hop straight into this. I've been going for a while, so I just want to hop right into the podcast. You already know who I am. You already know what the podcast is called. So, as you've seen with the several videos that I put up onto the beginning of this video and the title of the podcast, I want to switch gears. I'm late on some of this stuff, so please forgive me. But I'm gonna do my best to try to get this information out to y'all. So, recently we've saw on the news and on social media and stuff like that within the past month or so, that there has been 2 police shootings. I'm gonna start with Tatiana Jefferson, which was probably one of the most recent ones so far, and she's from Fort Worth, Texas. I'm gonna read from my notes here. She's from Fort Worth, Texas. She was 28 years old. How everything happened, a neighbor had called the police to go and check on a unusual activity in her house, because her front door was open until, I think they said 2 o'clock in the morning. And the cop came to investigate what was going on, but instead of him going to the front door, knocking on the front door to see, what was up and was everybody alright in the house, he went to the back of her house, the backyard of the house, to check around or whatever. So Tatiana was sitting there with her nephew, playing video games with him. So I'm pretty sure she saw flashlight flashes like in her house. She didn't know where they were coming from. So from what I heard and what I researched, her father said that she had a gun in the house. So anybody would know, if you have a gun in the house and there's a disturbance that you see outside of your house, first thing is to pick up the gun and see what's happening. But she had her gun, but she didn't discharge it towards the officer. The officer's name is Aaron Dean. He was part of, and I'm pretty sure he still is part of the Fort Worth PD. And he responded to the call. of the door being up for several hours, and it was like 2 seconds if you watch the video. The video basically shows him telling them to get down on the ground, and then after that he fires his gun into the window, killing Tatiana Jefferson. And I feel like that. Well, to be totally honest, I feel like that these past few years, starting in 2014, when we started getting all the national coverage of cops shooting black people or whatever, which it wasn't a surprise, but I was surprised that now it's being shown on television, because we all know, as myself, as an African American male, I know that this goes down firsthand all the time, any damn way. So after years and years and years of seeing multiple cops killing black people at any given time, so what I want to expound upon today is basically it's within the Fourth Amendment, and it's federal and state laws I want to go over, but mostly I want to go over federal law, because federal law has to be followed by all states at all times. But what hasn't been happening, from what I've seen of multiple videos on Facebook that I've seen of cops basically just pushing aside rights and everything like that, that it shows that the police training in this country needs an overhaul. It needs to be redone. The cops need to be retrained. I watched the episode of Patriot Act on Netflix, and the host basically was talking about how policing here in America is more so on. It's on the tilt, because he showed a stat where it showed that police officers in this country do more firearm training than they do. I think he called it resistance training or something like that, where basically you try to talk an assailant down so nothing escalates or whatever. But they're trained more in, I would say, combat and firearm training than they are trying to de-escalate a situation. As you saw on the first video, that's somebody that I know. That's somebody that I've known all my life. And I feel as though that within the system, within the Fourth Amendment, which states, the Fourth Amendment states the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. He was standing outside. Well, from what I saw on the video, he was standing outside of his grandmother's townhouse, which isn't unlikely anywhere around here where I live at. Because when you know people and you know the neighborhood that you're in, you tend to just hang out or whatever. But from what I saw, it looked like that a cop was driving past, saw that it was 3 black males in a car or outside of a car just standing around talking. And as you heard, he told that the guy, you were digging, you're going to be searched. But you don't know what he was digging for. You don't know if he was digging for his phone. You don't know if he was digging for like a pen or a lighter to light a cigarette. You don't know what the fuck he was digging for. So from a cop's eye view, from somebody going into their pockets to get something out of their pocket, is basically grounds to search someone, or because the cop sees that person as a criminal. I don't understand. Like, this shit is fucking ridiculous. I remember when I was 17 years old, I was going to a party with a friend, and it was 4 of us in the car, driver, passenger, and then the 2 back. I was in the back seat along with somebody else. So the cop basically stops us because he told my friend that was driving that he did a rolling stop. Okay, so he asked us for license and registration. My friend didn't have his license, but he did have the registration. The registration was registered under his mother's name, but the car was in his name, or something like that, or it was his mother's car, but it was his car. It was something along the lines of that. But the important part of it is, when my friend was telling the cop, you can search me in the system. I'm in there. My name's so and so, and my ID number is this. The cop didn't want to hear any of that. He asks him to get out the car. He searches him. Asks my other friend that was in the passenger seat to get out. Then he asks. Then he asks my other friend to get out the car. And then he asks me to get out the car. So I know y'all sitting here listening, well, Marcus, he didn't have his license. So on grounds of the law of the state or anywhere, he should be pulled over and he should be taken out of his car, and the car should be towed away. I'm not saying that he shouldn't, but what I'm trying to say here is there was no grounds to search us on the point of not saying that because we were minors and we didn't have anything, but number one, we didn't have anything. Number two, he just forgot his license. So the easy fix is, pull us out of the car, take the car, he gets a ride home, he gets his license, he gets some money to get the car out of the impound, he takes the car. Easy fix. Write the ticket, we're on our way. Like, I don't feel as though that any of that was wrong, but what I do feel as though that was wrong, he asked if there were any guns or drugs, or weapons or drugs in the car. Now that's what I feel is disrespectful. I know on his end he's trying to, protect himself, but we're young. I've never been in any major trouble in my life, other than what I told y'all in the domestic violence video. That's it. That's the only type of major trouble I've ever been in, where it was a court case, fingerprinting, me in handcuffs at the police station, getting my picture taken, and so on and so forth. But what I feel as though in that video, which I also read within both federal and state and county law of my state, my county, and the federal law, I read that police are supposed to conduct themselves as professional as possible, so the situation doesn't get out of hand. So basically, they want the situation in the cops' control so it doesn't get out of control. Okay, cool. But from what we're seeing these emotional fucking ass cops fucking getting beside themselves and all emotional because they give out an order which what federal and state law states that you can ask if you're being detained. Cop walks up to you, asks you some questions. You can say, am I being detained? If he says yes, then you're detained. The area what you're in is the area that you're being detained in. Until you're arrested, well, even when you're detained, you can opt out of answering any questions. It's your right to do so. You don't have to answer any questions that the cop asks you at all. You can just sit there and stay silent. It's a part of your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Until they read you off your Miranda rights to tell you that you have the right to remain silent, anything that you say or do may be used against you in a court of law. Basically, you can basically opt out of any questioning while you're being detained. You can opt out of being searched when you're being detained, because unless they have, and this is what blows my mind. When I was looking this shit up, where am I at? So, police can arrest you if if they suspect that you committed a crime or about to commit a crime, felonies, whether or not in the presence, a misdemeanor in their presence, a misdemeanor not in their presence, and if they have reason to believe you may escape, cause injury to persons or property, so on and so forth. Also, where did I write this shit at? The law permits police officers to approach you in public place to request information. That's where you can opt out of saying anything. Right to remain silent. Fifth Amendment right. You need not to submit to questioning and are free to leave, but they can get you for disorderly conduct. That's basically what they can do. Disorderly conduct trumps every fucking thing. If you don't comply to anything that they say, they can get you for disorderly conduct, which is basically you hindering them from doing their job. You have the right to say nothing, because you're not. From what I saw in one video, a guy told the cop that I'm not here to help you with your investigation. That's not my job to help you with your investigation. What I'm trying to get at is I forgot where I wrote this at, but okay, here I am. If police suspect that you have committed or about to commit a crime, they may briefly detain you for questioning. If any paraphernalia is found, you will be arrested, and your illegal substances and weapons will be confiscated. But the first part, if the police suspect you of committing, or you have committed or about to commit, basically it's under the cops' own reason of saying whatever fuck he wants. He he basically has, or she has, the ability to basically say, I feel as though that you're about to commit a crime, or I feel you look familiar and you look like a suspect that I'm looking for, which has happened to me before, and I laughed when I saw that what the person looked like on the picture. I was living in PA at the time, and me and my girlfriend had just got home from the grocery store. So I told her, go ahead in the house, I'll get the bags, you just start dinner or whatever, and I'll just put the food up when I get in the house. So I'm getting the last remaining bags, and when we pulled up, I seen a gray Ford Crown Victoria sitting off in the distance of the parking lot. So I paid it no mind because I saw two people in there. I'm thinking that it's one of the neighbors and a friend, talking or smoking or whatever that they were doing. I just thought they were doing that. So I just left it alone, mind my business, kept doing what I was doing. So the last time I came out, I saw that the car had pulled up in front of my car. So I'm grabbing the bags, not paying them any mind because I know what's about to happen. I go to shut my trunk and I go to walk off. They hop out. They say, hey, can we talk to you for a second? I just stand there and I'm like, I just shake my head, nah. I keep going. They was like, well, we feel as though that you look suspicious and we feel as though that you're so-and-so. I said, what's the name again? And they said the name. I said, nah, that ain't me, homie. And he said, well, do you have any ID on you? And I was like, yeah. And so I put the bags down. I pulled my wallet out, and I don't take my ID. I have like a window in my wallet, and I just like showed them like what my name was. I held it there long enough to where they could see what my name was, and the state of the ID and all that. So he goes into his iPhone, he goes into some, I guess his photos, pulls up the picture, he holds the phone up to my face like this, and then looks at me, looks at the picture, looks at me. And before he puts the phone down, I said, hold on, turn that around for me. It was some light-skinned dude with braids in his hair. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, do you really think that looks like me? Go ahead, dog. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. So, I pick my bags up, I go in the house, and my girlfriend asked me, well, what took you so long? I was like, well, I just got stopped outside by two detectives. She was like, really? I was like, yeah, like, they thought I was some light-skinned dude. She was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, yeah, like, I feel as though that they thought that I was this guy. And I showed them my ID. I showed them that my name was Marcus, and they saw that I didn't have a PA identification, so oddly enough, they should be like, okay, well, that's not him. But I say that to say that it's under a cop's discretion what they deem of the situation that they're putting you through. So when you get stopped, and I've been stopped several times. I've been stopped for some of the dumbest shit. One of the dumbest things I got stopped for was that I had a dim headlight, which I didn't put it past them. Okay, I could have a dim headlight. Okay, cool. But what he didn't know that I had in the car was a radio system. So maybe when he saw my car, when he saw the front end of my car, and he saw the headlights, maybe my base hit when he saw me and it dimmed the light. That's what I acknowledge that he didn't know. So I didn't put it past him. He gave me a warning, told me to get it fixed, whatever. So I asked my cousin to get out the car to check it. He was like, "Nah, your headlights look fine." But then before he got in the car, my bass hit again, whatever song I was listening to. And then he got in the car. He said, "Yeah." He said he probably saw when the bass hit, your lights dimmed. He said, "But that's common when you have a system in your car, because it was just hardwired in. It wasn't like, how you do it professionally, make everything work how it's supposed to work. It was basically just everything was hot wired in. It was just a system to the power, no battery pack, no nothing. So it was causing juice to be sucked out of the car in some ways or whatever. Sorry for the rant. But what I'm trying to get at is that all of these senseless police killings for nothing, for basically what they deem that they should be enforcing law where there isn't anything to be forced. As you saw, it was either in the 4th video of the guy who got the drug raid or whatever. The lady said it would be a shame if a child was behind that door when they did that. Because cops aren't having the common sense, or police departments in general aren't having sense enough to fucking which I think they had a no-knock warrant, which a no-knock warrant is basically, let me read this to y'all. A no-knock warrant is an issued warrant is an issued warrant by a judge to allow law enforcement to enter a house or property without informing the resident or residents and or knocking or ringing the doorbell. Knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell. So basically, it's surprise. We're here to take you to jail. But they found nothing. And they saw that the guy's house had cameras in it. They watched themselves after the fact, and they were sitting there laughing and joking. I saw another video where it was a police, I guess, chasing down somebody, or they saw somebody that they deemed was suspicious. And they wrestled him in front of this, I think it was like a mechanic shop, and they arrested the guy. But they went into the business the next day to see the video of themselves, and they were laughing. So basically, the store owner told him to get the fuck out of his shop because they didn't feel. The owner didn't feel as though that shit was funny, because not only did they falsely accuse the young man of being somebody that they thought was somebody else, but they were in the wrong because they fucking started laughing about what they did. So, as I said before, at all times, cops should be making themselves as professional as possible during the situation, and that's any situation. You're representing basically the town, and not only the town, you're representing the police department that you're in. I'm not taking up for cops at all. I'm not going to sit here and say that I hate cops. I'm not going to sit here that I like cops, because I have mixed feelings on these motherfuckers, to be honest, because back in 2014, if not 15, I think it was 15, a cousin of mine was pulled over, and I guess from what I heard from his dad, He pulled over. The cop came up to the car. You know, regular shit. License and registration. Gave him the license and registration. I don't know if my cousin had a warrant out for his arrest or not, but from what I know, he never got in any trouble. Came from a good family. So, I'm guessing the cop got into, you know, verbal boxing with his ass, so my cousin wasn't taking that shit, so he started yelling back at him. Cop pulls out his gun, shoots him in the head. We've seen this shit so many times. So many times. On the news. To the point that we're fucking numb to this shit. Like, we're numb as fuck to this shit now. Like, we don't, like, when we see this shit, it's like another day now. Like, some people don't mourn about this shit no more. Some people don't give a fuck that it's happening no more. I know personally myself that the shit hurts because some people don't realize how it feels when they see shit like that on TV until it happens to your family. So when my cousin got shot in the head, he's dead. He's shot in the head by a police officer. You tend to look at police a little different. And if you grow up in the town that I've grown up in, which some of the residents around here are on the racist side, when you see certain write-ups in the paper, it's crazy that when you go on social media and these said news outlets have social media pages, you get to see everybody in this town and how they think about shit. Like, you should see when there's shit about people where they were selling drugs and stuff like that. And I'm not promoting selling drugs, but I know myself, people that you know, when people don't want to get a regular day job, they tend to do other things. So I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, but you get to see how people think, especially where I live at, in the county that I live in, because it's all types of fucking racist shit that they got coming out of their mouth. Like fucking, they got that motherfucker and he'll be off the streets and good job, Elkton PD and shit like that. And it's like, half the time, it be shit that the cops planted on these people. So it's fucking crazy. Like, it's nuts how this shit is deemed okay. And I'm not gonna say any names, but I know somebody that's in corrections, so they get to see the aftermath of shit all the time. So basically, I'm guessing just in my head that when they get a new inmate, that they have like a sheet of who they are, what they did, what they're in there for, so on and so forth. So the county that he works in, he basically said that the laws that they have in his county, it's like the laws in this county basically are like cut and dry, and there's no loopholes, and the cops do their job in the town that he lives in. But he said he looked into the books up here, into the law books up here. He said that the law books up here basically got dust on them. It's no laws that have been looked over and reestablished it to become more modern. So basically the cops out here are just going off of whatever they think is right to do. Like, there's nothing that I feel as though, and I've been around a lot of fucking times when cops are pulling up and searching motherfuckers. I've seen shit like that, and it's crazy the lengths that you see them come like going. Like as you saw in the one video where it said that the guy was walking home from work and the cop had stopped him, basically in a standoff with him. And I guess his aunt or his cousins were filming the shit. Dude was walking home from work. I'm guessing the cop felt as though wrongful identity of he thought that he was somebody else, and then you see him getting wrestled to the ground, slammed on the ground, matter of fact, and handcuffed. Like, this shit's fucking crazy. Like, I can't fathom what the fuck could have happened to me when I got into a dispute with my girlfriend. Like, I have no idea what the fuck could have happened to me that day. So, said person told me that that's in corrections. Told me that the best thing for someone to do is to, when the cops asks for your license and license or ID or whatever, is to give it to them. They ask for it, give it to them. Because basically, from certain videos that I've seen of doing research for this topic and looking up laws and stuff, basically, if you don't present identification of who you are, which you saw in the one video that the guy was telling the cop, I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're over here asking me if I have ID. How do I know that you're not, a fake police officer or whatever? Basically, to me, that situation was dumb. The cop basically came up to mess with him. The guy sitting in his car, he doesn't know what the fuck. And this brings me back to the first video. The cops don't know what the fuck they were doing. So why the fuck are you coming up messing with motherfuckers if you don't know what the fuck they're doing? Like, this shit's fucking insane. Like, I remember, this is more of a funny story, but not really. I remember I forgot how old I was, like 15 or 16, and me and my friends were standing out front of his apartment building, and I had my hoodie on because it was cold outside or whatever. I'm standing towards him, I'm in the street, but by the curb where he was sitting at, right in front of him. We're talking, and another friend of ours comes out, and we're all talking. So a cop drives by, stops, yells out his window, "Turn around!" And I put my hood down and look and turn around like, the fuck? He goes, "Oh, sorry," and drives off. I don't understand why there's a certain suspect that they have in their head for black male from 18 to 35, between the height of 5'11" to 6'2", from 190 to 230 pounds. If I got that correct. Why is that the suspect profile for black men? Do they have a suspect profile for Mexican Latinos, whites, Middle Eastern, and Indian people? Like, do you have a certain fucking suspect profile for them too, or is it just us? Because I don't understand this shit. So moving on. Within the Botham John case, with the officer Amber Geiger that walked into his apartment thinking that it was hers and shot him. Well, she shot twice, but one hit him in the chest and killed him. So he didn't have any weapons present that she saw. From what they said, he was sitting on his couch watching TV, eating ice cream. So you break into this guy's house, you bust into this guy's house without any questions asked. You shoot him because you think that he broke into your house. Now, what I'm not understanding is how the fuck do you mistaken your house for somebody else's house? I don't understand. You don't know what fucking floor you live on? Like I've never seen that happen a day in my life. I've never seen somebody break into somebody's house thinking that it was theirs because your key's not working. I'm not fucking understanding this shit. This shit is fucking crazy. How the fuck do you sit there, shoot a guy, see that it's not your fucking apartment, and now you want to cry on the stand that you're sorry for what you did, but at the same time you get 10 fucking years. Every other cop has gotten off from this shit. Eric Garner, cop got it. Well, no, Eric Garner's cop, he actually got put in jail for what he did, but it took a long fucking time for it to happen. The St. Louis case with Brown, his cop, he had to get off the fucking police force. No, he actually think he's back on that police force. But y'all can fact check me. Why the fuck is it that judges and lawmakers of towns and mayors are deeming this fucking activity okay? Because the person, the cop that killed my cousin, he's still on the fucking force. A cop. Okay, so when all this shit was happening, with these cop killings, the blue line became something. But we all know about the blue line. Basically, don't cross your fellow police officer. So if a cop lies and says, well, he ran down on me, so I had to shoot him, his colleague has to go by that. Okay, he ran down on you and he shot you, and you shot him. Okay, did anything else happen? Well, we got into a tussle and I got him off me, so when he ran down on me, that's when I pulled my gun out and I shot him. Like, what the fuck is up with these dumbass lies, man? Just tell the fucking truth. You shot him because you, and this is a common fucking thing for him to say. I shot him because I feared for my life. But in every video, it shows that you started the aggression because of something that they didn't do, that you asked them to do, that they didn't feel comfortable with doing in the first fucking place. So you shoot them to make sure that they listen to them, but they're lying there fucking dead, which every police code says annihilate the threat with extreme prejudice. when you look at other countries like police forces, their police forces are mainly there to protect the people. You can walk up, I'm just saying this because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is true. I'm pretty sure you can walk up to a cop in London, France, wherever, and basically have a conversation with these motherfuckers without any reason of suspicion of and false identities and anything like that. Walk up to a cop now and you get shot and killed. This is just a regular. You can just be sitting there. You can be killed. I can't say myself as a black man that I'm afraid of police. I can't say that I am. But I am fearful of what they can do. So with the Botham John case, which this shit is fucking ridiculous within itself. He had no weapons present in his house. He showed no threat, and because of the cop wrongfully thinking that she lived in the apartment that he was in, he gets shot and killed. So with the case, big case, like all these other cases that has happened and shown cops getting off, such as the Rodney King, such as was it Michael Brown, such as I'm forgetting the young lady's name that was in, I think, North Carolina. I'm forgetting her name. All these cops get off, so we finally get one. Amber Geiger goes to jail, not for life, but for 10 years. That's a huge slap in the face to the John family, but at the same time, I feel sorry for him. But also at the same time, I understand that you're a religious family and y'all don't want any bad blood and y'all don't want to think anything or whatever towards Amber Geiger, but show some fucking restraint, my nigga. You shouldn't be fucking hugging your brother's killer, motherfucker. That's like me going up to the cop that shot my goddamn cousin and hugging this motherfucker and telling him that I forgive you. Because I would be lying. Like, I don't want to sit on here and say what I would do or whatever, because those types of thoughts can get me locked up. But what I do know is that his brother, the judge, and the bailiff had no motherfucking reason doing the shit that they was doing in that goddamn courtroom. This shit has to stop. Like, right fucking now. This shit has to fucking stop. So, the young brother Joshua Brown, he gives his testimony about what he heard that happened and everything, and he detailed from detail to detail. He tells the judge and the prosecutors whatever what happened, what he heard, and they asked him several questions of what Amber said that she did, and then asked him if he heard any of these things, and he said that he didn't. Here, tell him to get down or whatever. He said all he heard was the door pop open, basically like her kicking the door down herself, and then hearing gunshots. He said he heard nothing of the sort of her lawfully asking him to comply with her statements, or her orders. So 10 days go by, and the jurors are discussing if she should go to jail or not. 2 days later, Joshua Brown gets shot and killed in an alleged drug deal going wrong. And the suspects' names that they came out with was Michael Mitchell, Jacarius Mitchell, and Thaddeus Green. Who the fuck does the cops and these news outlets think they fucking are? We all know what the fuck this is. It's a police shooting to Joshua Brown because he stand up on the witness stand and testified against a fellow police officer. This is the oldest trick in the fucking book, but how can you sit here and tell us that it was 3 guys for an alleged drug deal? Joshua Brown went to college. He went to Florida State University, which he played football, which that means he has a fucking degree. So what person that has a fucking degree from college goes and fucking sells drugs? And then they saying that he had 12 pounds of marijuana. He had 12 cartridges of THC oil. He had all types of fucking weed paraphernalia in his house, but he just stood up on the stand basically saying that this woman killed his neighbor in cold blood, that he didn't know from a can of paint. He just knows that the guy would wake up and sing gospel songs when he was in his house, or Drake. Like, you not fooling me, motherfucker. Like, this is what I want to fucking tell CNN, Fox News, whoever the fuck else is trying to control the narrative of this bullshit. You not fooling me with this shit. My people have gone through too much motherfucking shit in this country for y'all to be pulling the wool over our eyes. This shit is dumb. Like, this shit is dumb. So, search and seizures, to get off of that shit that I was just talking about. Search and seizures is taking possession of person or property, legal process, but shit. Oh, sorry. Taking possession or property by legal process. But the shit isn't being legal anymore because anything search and seizure now. Like the stop and frisk in New York, that's search and seizure. That's without your consent. They don't want your consent for them to see if you have anything on you, which is a violation of the 4th Amendment. So what fucking laws and shit and what constitution are we under now? Because as far as what I know, when everyone voted for the Patriot Act back in 2002, no one knows that only lasted for 14 years. Now it's called the Freedom of Surveillance Act now, I think, or the Freedom Act. They're just rebranding this shit. So is that what we're under now? we're not going off of the American Constitution. We're going over the Freedom Act, where you basically voted your right off of letting these motherfuckers do whatever that they want. Spying to your phones. That's the reason why when you're talking about something and your phone picks it up, and then you see an ad about something on Facebook or Instagram that you just talked about, spying on your phones, spying on computers, and tracking you through telephone or a car, because your car has a tracking device in it now. Now, I'm not trying to do any conspiratorial shit or anything like that, or get y'all spooked out about what I'm saying, but have you not peeped anything that's been happening these past 5-6 years with all this shit that's been happening with these police officers? I remember growing up seeing police officers in uniform. Now when I see police officers in uniform, it's like they're going to fucking war. I don't understand this shit no more. Like, it's some shit that I really sit back and think about for hours sometimes, and I never can come up with an answer for myself of why this shit's happening. Now, I could go off some other conspiratorial shit, but I won't do it in this video. So, just know, y'all, to police officers, you're incriminating yourself when you're not complying with what they want you to do. Just know that. Like, I remember when I was a young dude, and my area used to be littered with cops. Every 10 minutes, a cop would be driving through my neighborhood. Every 10 minutes. I barely see these motherfuckers now in my neighborhood. Like, the only advice that I can give y'all is try to protect yourself at all times. And I don't mean about having a weapon or anything. I mean, use this to protect yourself. If you feel as though that shit is about to go left with a police officer, please shut the fuck up and don't say no more. Because by incriminating yourself, that gives them the okay to do whatever the fuck that they want to do to you. Because I got pulled over one time for speeding, and it's my fault that I was speeding because I was falling asleep behind the wheel, which is dangerous within itself. It's alright, motherfuckers, I paid the ticket, so don't but this happened the same week of the Michael Brown shit. And what I'm not understanding is that when both cops approached my car, one was on my side, the other one was on the passenger side. And I was with my ex-girlfriend and her daughter. Her daughter was asleep in the back. Which is funny because it was daytime and the motherfucking cop that was on the passenger side was shining his fucking flashlight in my car. I didn't have tinted windows at the time, so he could see everything that was going on in my car. All we had in the car was her in the back and 2 shopping bags, and then it was her. It was Max on the passenger side on her phone, and then I'm driving. So basically, the cop comes up all hype and shit. Had his both of them had their hands on their guns. I'm like, yo, what's the problem? Like, why are y'all's hands on your guns? I've done nothing other than speeding. They was like, well, we don't know who you are. Well, license and registration, right? I said, let me get my license from my left pocket, then let me get my registration. That's in my visor, my overhead visor. I said, then you can know who the hell I am. So I get that for him. I hand it to him. This is the dumb shit that they go through with you when you're black. I don't know anything other than what cops do to us. I don't know what cops do with white people in their car, when they're in their car. I don't know anything other than what I've been through and friends of mine has been through. So basically, he asked what they asked the young guys in the first video. Is there any drugs or weapons in the car that I should know about? Well, nigga, if anything, it's none of your goddamn business if I have guns or drugs in this motherfucking car. Because it's not your fucking car to know if I have drugs or weapons in this motherfucker. If I did, I wouldn't tell you. Now, I know y'all probably sitting there like, well, you gonna get locked up for shit like that. Well, number one, you don't do their investigation for them. Because until you receive that training at the police academy, you're not to do their job. And I think wholeheartedly with this shit because I don't have a problem with authority, but I have a problem when you're being a dickhead when you shouldn't have to. Now, they could have pulled me out of the car for speeding because I was doing 30 miles over the speed limit. I was doing 80 and a 50. But I was going down a hill, which there is no excuse for that. But at the same time, what you have to understand is that any false move I would have made, they would have littered that car with bullets, with a baby in there and my girlfriend in there. As you saw with the guy from Illinois, and his name's slipping me right now, but his child was in the back seat, his girlfriend was driving. He told the cop, I'm gonna give you my license, but I'm gonna give you my registration for my gun that I have on me, which Illinois is an open carry state. So the cop immediately shoots his ass. Like, if us as citizens are giving police officers the proper information of stuff that we have on us and that is around us when we're in our car or in our house, why are you sitting here fucking shooting motherfuckers if they're giving you the proper information? The guy just told you, here's my license and I'm gonna give you my registration card for my gun that I have on me right now, which is state law when it's an open carry state. Because you can't conceal your gun in an open carry state. It has to be on your person, has to be visible, and you can lift up your shirt or wherever the hell it's at, and it has to be visible at all times when it's an open carry state. Maryland is an open carry state, so I couldn't walk out the house with a gun and just walk around with it if I wanted to. I know motherfuckers that do, but I don't personally do it myself. But what I'm mainly trying to say here is I don't want to see nobody that I know get killed over no dumb shit because a cop wants to be on some dumb shit. So what I advise anybody that I know, is read the Fourth Amendment, read authority. I think it's the authority and seizures page of your state law book, of your county law book, and check the state law book of it too. You can get all this information online. All this is public information. It's all public knowledge. It's for you to look at, and it's for you to understand. Because like they say, ignorance is I forgot what, but basically know the law or whatever. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I want to thank y'all for watching. Sorry I took a whole month away from doing my podcast, but I was having computer issues where I couldn't open my video editing app. So I'm back. I'm going to keep making videos like I was. It's going to be a slight shift of what I'm doing now. I'm not going to be doing relationship videos, and I feel as though that y'all got enough of those relationship videos. Going to be hitting y'all with more hard-hitting topics now, with knowledge that I've gained or stuff that I've read. More with the relationship stuff is more what I've been through and what I could come off with the top of my head and give y'all some advice and some information of what I thought about stuff. So if y'all want to see me do more in more hard-hitting topics like this, please go onto the fan page, Marcus Speaks on Facebook. Go to my Instagram at marcus.speaks.podcast, and go to, well, I really don't use my Twitter, so I might be getting rid of that. Also hit the comment section with anything that y'all want to talk about with this topic, please. Like I said, let's keep this conversation going. Let's try to find a solution of what we can do about this, about these police killings in our areas or if anywhere else in the country. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.